After interviewing hundreds of NEET toppers, we find that most of the toppers have few habits in common that helps them to score high on competitive examinations like NEET. In this video, we are going to discuss about the top 7 habits of toppers, which differentiates them from the rest. The first habit is short study duration. Toppers study only for short duration of time, but they do it every day, consistently and constantly, instead of doing a one long cramming study session in a week. It is not important how long you are learning, but it is important that how consistent you are in your learning. A steady flow of water makes the land fertile, but a rapid flow of water destroys the fertile land. Learning is a slow and steady process. It is like building a basement, then pillars, and then adding roof on it. You cannot build the basement, pillars, and roof at the same day. We now have enough evidence that efficiency decreases after 30 minutes of study session. So plan your study sessions for 25 minutes and go for a compulsory break for 10 to 15 minutes. The second habit is sticking to the study plan. If you fail to plan, you're planning for the failure. The first thing to succeed in exams is to have a study plan, and the next thing is to stick to the study plan. It is not important whether you study 14 hours a day or 4 hours a day. The key to success is being consistent so that your learning compounds and matures before the exam. Many students fail to execute their study plan because they fill their schedules with study time first, leaving very less time for enjoyment and fun. Try changing your approach to fill the schedule with fun activities first and then fill the rest with studies. Another thing you can do to consistently follow your study plan is having a dedicated study place. Don't do any other activity apart from studying at that place. This will help you to get into the mood of studying as soon as you enter that place. You have to self-motivate yourself at the end of the day by giving yourself some reward. In the beginning, you may find it difficult to stick to your study plan. You should use the power of habit to help you get over this. If you do any activity repeatedly for 21 days, it becomes your habit. Once any activity becomes a habit, you will start tapping the potential of the subconscious mind to help you achieve the goal. Nishita Purohit, All India ranked number 1, who topped both in AIMS as well as in NEET, says that she had solved nearly 200 questions every day consistently to reach a goal. The third habit is seek to understand than to memorize. When you understand things, you will be able to apply the concept across different situations. If you find yourself seeking to memorize all possible problem types and their solution patterns, you are not trying to understand the concept. Toppers always try to get the big picture of whatever they study. They use tools like mind map and concept maps to get the big picture. The trick to understand is to associate what you study with the concepts you already knew before. The number of old concepts you are able to associate determines your level of understanding. All time you spend for reading is waste of your time if you can't spend few minutes assimilating it. The fourth habit is switch between focused thinking and divergent thinking. Most of the students use focused mode of thinking when they read the textbook. In focused thinking, your thoughts follow the direction of the book without any deviation. After focused reading, you will know what units the subject have, what chapters those units have, and the important points in each of the chapter. But toppers use another mode of learning called divergent thinking. That means allowing your mind to flow as it wishes on any topic. This allows them to associate a concept discussed in the first chapter with a concept discussed in the fifth chapter. It is only the student who thinks learns. Divergent thinking is one of the primary ways of active learning as you deliberately try to understand, think, and associate related concepts. There is evidence that divergent mode of thinking improves memory retention by 80%. The fifth habit is spending more time on practice than reading. After interviewing many toppers, the single most defining parameter for the high score in examinations that stood out was the practice time. Toppers are found to spend as high as 70% of their study time for practice. More the practice time, higher they scored in their examinations. If you want to improve your recall during exam time, the best way to do it is to recall information multiple times in multiple contexts before the exam. Toppers write more mock tests and solve many previous year question papers. Reading is passive learning that gives 20% recalling ability, whereas solving questions is active learning that gives 80% recalling ability. Roman Saini, who cracked AIMS at the age of 16 and became IAS at the age of 22, claims that he had spent close to 1,000 hours of practice to clear both AIMS and IAS. In fact, he claims that to master any skill, all it takes is 1,000 hours of practice to perform better than 95% of the competitors. The sixth habit is use learning tools to revise. One of the tough steps in preparing for examinations is the process of revision. It is practically impossible for students to read the book again and again during revision. Toppers use proven tools and techniques to make their revision effective. Seed may be good, but if the soil or water is bad, it doesn't grow. Hard work is important, but if one uses bad techniques and tools, hard work does not help. Hitesh Shah, who got All India rank number 1 in NEET 2016, says that he just spent close to 3 hours every day to reach his goal because he used right tools and techniques. He identified his weak topics by solving mock tests and previous year question papers in online and spent most of his time improving the weak topics. If you ask me what makes the toppers remember more than the average student, I would say it is the use of right tools and techniques. Most of the toppers use learning tools like mnemonics, flashcards, visual aids, mind maps, compare and contrast to improve their memory retention and recalling ability. The seventh habit is maintaining health and good sleep. The brain represents only 2% of the body weight. It consumes more than 20% of the calories. Oxygen and glucose acts as the fuel for a brain. Eating moderate portions of fresh vegetables, fruits, and consuming 3 liters of water every day helps to boost your accuracy and performance of your brain. Do you know that sleeping and dreaming helps in the consolidation of memory? It is only during sleeping all our learning during the day is moved to permanent long-time memory. Survey on Harvard University shows that students who studied and had good night's sleep performed 35% better when they are tested next day morning compared to the students who read in the morning and gave the test in the evening. Neuroscientists and psychologists have concluded that physical exercises and meditation increases the formation of new neurons in the hippocampus, the region in the brain that is responsible for long-time memory. After interviewing many toppers, it is found that all the toppers spent a minimum of 1 hour for sports or for doing other extracurricular activities. This helps them relieve stress, improves their blood flow, and provide the essential nutrition to the brain. These 7 habits mentioned here is not given in any order. If you're interested to know the top habit that differentiates toppers from others, it is the habit of spending more time on revision and practice. Apart from this, there is an eighth habit that is not commonly shared by toppers but are found to be common among intelligent students. If your aim is to just crack NEET, you can close this video and move on to the next video in the course. But if you're interested in becoming intelligent, then this eighth habit is as important as the other 7. The eighth habit is the ability to observe than just seeing. Let me explain this with an example. Wherever you are sitting right now, you might be having a wall clock in that room. Don't look at the clock now and try to answer my question. Is the number 6 in your clock Roman numeral or Arabic numeral? Before checking the clock to verify your answer, spend few more minutes to decide as if there's a lot of money at stake if your answer goes wrong. Once you finalize the answer, check the clock and see if you're right. If your answer is right, hold on for one more minute before you celebrate for your right answer. Now comes the real test of observation. What was the time when you checked the clock? 90% of people were not able to tell the time because they were seeing but not observing. If you do not observe, you do not remember. If you cannot remember, you cannot recall it. If you carefully observe what affects your observation, it is the intention of your reading or learning. We read books in three ways. The first way is to search information, like in the case of a dictionary. The second way is to gain some knowledge, like in the case of reading a newspaper. The third way is to gain understanding, like in the case of reading textbooks. The intention of the reading decides which way we are going to choose to read a book. If your intention for reading is to teach and not just to pass the examination, you will start observing all the concepts and relate them because you cannot teach others what you do not understand. The objective of experts for learning is not to pass, but to teach those concepts or apply those concepts in the real world. This shift in the learning purpose can do wonders not just for the NEET examinations, but for your entire life. Thanks for learning with us. If you like this video, please share this video with your friends and family who are interested in learning how to learn. Subscribe to this channel by clicking here to watch more videos on learning. Happy learning about learning.